All right, wrestling fans, SummerSlam 2015 is in the books. SummerSlam is one of the big four WWE pay-per-views, along with Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, and Survivor Series, that most of us old school fans grew up with. So SummerSlam is very special to me. It was actually the first wrestling pay-per-view I ever watched at my friend's house, SummerSlam 1988, back when Jesse the Body was the special referee for Macho Man Randy Savage, and Hulk Hogan, the Mega Powers, taking on Andre the Giant and the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. I remember it like it was yesterday. Anyway, forget all that junk. Yesterday's over. What happened today? Let's talk about it. If you're unfamiliar, this is the first review I've done in a while. If you're unfamiliar with the process, I give every match a rating based on 4 stars, not 5. Sometimes you get the 5-star with others. 4 stars, okay? And I do also half ratings, so 1.5, 2.5, 3.5, etc. But that's it. So we're going to try to fit these matches in there as best we can. Of course, you may agree, disagree. Feel free to leave me a comment. First, we start off with Jon Stewart, who comes out. Hey, I like Jon Stewart. Not really. I've never been a fan of bringing in celebrities for any sort of wrestling event. Sometimes it fits, you know, WrestleMania 1 with Muhammad Ali and Liberace and all them, but for the most part, these don't usually work out unless it's a big name. Mike Tyson comes to mind, all right? If it's a David Arquette sort of deal, either no one's gonna care or it's just gonna look and be stupid. So anyway, not a big fan of Jon Stewart coming out. I like Jon Stewart, but not here. He comes out, has Mick Foley come out, and they talk about he's scared of Brock Lesnar. I don't know, just a bunch of garbage to start off, to be honest with you. Then they get into the first match. Randy Orton, who should be, you guys know I'm a Randy Orton mark, but I'm telling it like it is. He should be towards the end of this card, near to the main event. Doesn't have to be a main eventer, but look at the reactions he gets. Still got the charisma, still got the fans behind him. And he's warming up the crowd for Sheamus. Sheamus gets the victory. It was an okay match. We've seen these guys wrestle, 500 times. So nothing too out of the ordinary. Orton took a couple brogue kicks. It was a clean win for Sheamus. You knew when Sheamus came back from that injury that he was going to get the big push. This is Triple H's workout buddy. So we understand why this is all happening. He's got the briefcase. He's going to be the champion sooner or later, whether we like it or not. So Randy Orton is back to doing the job. It's funny, as soon as I start doing these reviews again, Randy Orton is laying down for people. That sucks. But anyway, Sheamus gets the win. Like I said, this match was nothing we haven't seen before. It was okay in parts. If you ask me, Randy Orton's charisma kept it together. The crowd was chanting at Sheamus the entire time. You look stupid, because he does. This was a 2-star match. 2 stars. I couldn't give it more. Giving it less would be an insult to Randy Orton, so 2 stars is the best I can do. And my cat probably agrees with me, I would think. Next up, we have the big Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match, which looked like a big clusterfuck to me. A lot of people on the Twitter apparently liked it. I thought it was just too much running around. I do like the New Day. I've been a big fan. Are you trying to upstage me? I've been a big fan of New Day since they came out. I've been tooting my horn for them. This camera's about to... You gotta get down, Friday. This is getting too much. So like I was saying before my cat interrupted us, I'm a big fan of New Day. I like what they're doing. They're funny. To me, they were given a shit gimmick, and they made it work. New Day should not have gotten over. They got over because these guys are having fun with it. They're silly. You could tell they get along. I'm very happy they won the match. Apparently, some people liked the flips and the flying and everybody was all over the place. I can't give it more than 2 stars. I know, I was gonna give it 2.5, but it wasn't for me. I'm sorry. I'm sure a lot of you would give it 2.5. I hope you wouldn't give it 3 out of 4, but I'm giving it 2 because I like the New Day. But I'm not a fan of Fatal 4-Way matches in general, let alone 4 crazy tag teams. Lucha Dragons, Los Matadores, Primetime Players, which we could get into Titus O'Neil and all the potential they're squandering with him, but I won't get into that today. Dolph Ziggler, who should be a big star, I'd like to also see him higher on the card, took on Rusev again. These guys have been feuding for some time now, back and forth, back and forth. Now it's Lana and Summer Rae, and they're doing the little triangle. I'm all for angles. I'm all for the story, and I think people enjoy it. You know, it gets them more into the match. But I'm sort of ready to move on from this and see what's, you know, let Lana go back to Rusev or keep her with Ziggler, whatever you want to do. But I'm ready to move on to the next step for both of those talents. It was a double count out. We don't need to get into the details, do we? I didn't think so. I'm going to give that match 2.5 stars. It was decent. They really, you know, gave him a lot of time, and they didn't do as much as I thought they could with that match. Boy, Rusev has fallen far, hasn't he? From, you know, being undefeated, looking like, when is this guy going to lose, to where he's at now in the love triangle. But that's what happens sometimes. Stardust and King Barrett wrestled Neville and Stephen Amell, an actor from a show called Arrow that I don't watch. However, let's, you know, like I said, I don't like all the celebrity stuff. I don't enjoy it when it's with my wrestling, but this guy did pretty good. Let's give credit where credit is due. Right when he got into the match, he did a springboard into the ring. I was pretty impressed. That being said, he's a no-name actor, so I don't know how far you want to take it with him. I don't think people really care about Stephen Amell. But kudos to him. He's clearly a real wrestling fan. He took it serious. Bravo, but still not interested. Sorry. That match, I'm going to give that match 2 stars. I probably could give it a 1.5, but Stephen Amell, I give him credit. Congratulations. I heard someone said it was his dream to be a wrestler. Awesome, man. Now go home. Ryback defeated Miz when Big Show punched him. This was fast and painless, almost like, you know, a car accident might be in some cases. When I say fast and painless, I mean it didn't last very long, so we didn't have to suffer. None of these guys did much, and Ryback is still the champion. Boy, couldn't have... It's tough not to give that 1 star. I'm going to give them 1.5 stars for that match just because they showed up and got in the ring. That's about all I can say for it. Ryback, I think there's potential there. Big Show, time to retire. And The Miz, you know, there's something there with him. He's never been able to put together the whole package. Let's be honest. Yeah, so we're going to give that 1.5 stars. And I'm being generous with that half, by the way. I'm giving him a 0.5 star just for signing their name on the test, basically. Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose defeated the Wyatt family, Luke Harper and Bray Wyatt, when Roman Reigns hit, once again, maybe one of the weakest, worst spears in the history of pro wrestling. He has some terrible, terrible spears, I just have to say. This match was pretty bad, you know, all things considered. Ambrose did the best he could. He was flying around a little bit, but it's not there. And not a Reigns fan. I don't think many people are. I am a Bray Wyatt fan, but he's sort of stuck in the mix. I'm going to give that 2 stars because, like I said, Ambrose put in a lot of effort. I like Wyatt. Reigns, not buying it, and I'd rather he didn't even do the spear at all if he was going to do it that weakly. And they're like, whoa, what a spear! Whoa! It's a horrible spear. It's like, maybe you buy that if you've never seen one before, I guess. Finally, we got to a really good match. Seth Rollins taking on John Cena in a title-for-title match. This was a really, really good match. Very entertaining, back and forth. Say what you want about John Cena, but he can bring it at the pay-per-views. He can, you know, he can have a quality match with just about anybody if they bring it on their end too. And Seth Rollins, of course, does. I was never the biggest Seth Rollins fan, but he's won me over quite a bit. Gotta give credit where it's due. 3.5 stars for this match. Good match, but let's talk about the ending. Okay, let's talk about the ending real quick. Jon Stewart came out, and do we even call this a turn? Was this a turn? Jon Stewart hit Cena. It's like he was going back and forth, almost like, who am I gonna hit? It was a real mess. It was ugly. And like I said, a little David Arquette-ish. I know they didn't make him the champion or anything, but just ridiculous. Really, he's coming out there now, he's with Seth Rollins. Rollins is going to come out on Raw and give us a yap about why he did it. And that's it. To me, that's a dumb finish to an excellent match. And it kind of ruined it. Might have went with 4 stars on that. Not going to do it anymore because that Jon Stewart interference, thumbs down. Terrible. Did not like that. Do not approve whatsoever. I'm sorry. Celebrities should be limited in wrestling as it is. In this case, kind of screwed that whole match, in my opinion. Oh boy, Team PCB versus Team Bella versus Team Bad. I was team go to the fridge and make myself a sandwich, and that sandwich was a 4-star sandwich. All right, that Kroger turkey meat was outstanding. The match itself, what I saw from these divas, same old, not impressed. 1.5 stars. I saw them doing some flips. I saw about 15 divas, it looked like, on the outside, who all flopped over when Paige came flying down like, I guess she was a bomb, and she exploded, and they all caught part of the ricochet. I don't know. Not impressed with these divas. I know they're saying Sasha Banks and Bayley, and they had this great match on NXT, and I'm sure they did. I didn't watch it. I would advise you to go watch it, because I missed it. But they're saying great things about it. This match, the team versus team, garbage. And then, oh, excuse me, we're not to the main event yet. This was a long card, 4 hours. Do I look tired? I feel tired. It was a little too much. I'm not a big fan of the 4-hour pay-per-views. Ridiculous, okay? I think it's overkill. Anyhow, Kevin Owens defeated Cesaro in what I thought was a very underwhelming match. I was expecting a lot from both of them because I enjoyed both of their work, especially Cesaro. I think he's so underrated. That being said, this wasn't a really good match. Maybe the chemistry wasn't there. I know they've wrestled before, I think, on NXT, but this didn't work out for me. I'm going to go ahead and give this match 2.5 stars. 2.5 stars. Wasn't there for me. I don't know what it was. Chemistry issue. Maybe they didn't give them enough time to work. I didn't think this match was really all it could have been. Now, finally, let's talk about the big one, the main event. The Undertaker taking on the Beast Brock Lesnar. I'm happy to report this match was much better than their match at WrestleMania. I thought The Undertaker looked tired at their match at WrestleMania. I thought he looked old. And if you had asked me then, I would have said he probably should have retired back in Miami, WrestleMania, the end of the era match, with Triple H, with Shawn Michaels as the special ref. I would have said maybe he should have called it quits then. He surprised us all tonight. The Undertaker was on fire. He came in, he looked good, he took good bumps, he gave great offense, he was into it, the atmosphere was electric. Kudos to The Undertaker at 50+ years old, still able to pull off a match like this. It's really incredible. And I hope wrestling fans are appreciating The Undertaker for everything he is now, because he's not going to be around much longer. And he really is the last of a legend, the last legend from an era in wrestling we'll never see again. So I hope everyone appreciates it. He doesn't make a lot of pay-per-view appearances outside of WrestleMania. In fact, I think this was the first one in about 5 years. So great job by The Undertaker. He brought it. Lesnar, you knew when you saw Lesnar when he came out of Ohio Valley many years ago, he was going to be a stud, then to the UFC and back. He's a star. He did a great job. Overall, this was an excellent match. I'm giving this match 3 stars. Could have given it more, okay? I could have given it more. What did I think about the ending? I'm not taking points away for the ending because I actually liked the ending. There was a controversial ending. Let's talk about it a little bit. I like it a little. Let's look at both sides, okay? And this is very controversial on Twitter. They're going crazy back and forth both ways. The Undertaker tapped out, but apparently Charles Robinson didn't see it because he was too busy worrying if Brock Lesnar's arms were down, which is ridiculous. Brock Lesnar had the offensive hold. I know he could have both his shoulders down, but he didn't for more than a 1. Usually the ref is checking on the person who's in the submission, whether he wants to give. I know it's set up, but that was a little bit of a plot hole, if you ask me. Undertaker's in the Kimura lock, and he's over here tapping his hand, and Charles Robinson, little Nate, is checking to see if Lesnar's arms, are they 1? You know, he's more worried about Lesnar, which is ridiculous. So, bad positioning. I know it can happen, especially with these WWE or wrestling refs in general, but that's a plot hole for that scenario. So I guess the timekeeper sees that Undertaker is tapping out. He rings the bell on his own will, which I don't think that's ever happened before. So, I mean, maybe it's a little bit innovative because we've never really seen it before. Okay, the timekeeper screwed up. He shouldn't have rang the bell. I guess that's possible, you know? And it's a much better ending than the celebrity running in and doing a turn for no good reason. So I didn't mind this. I thought this was acceptable because it this could happen, right? There's mistakes all the time. You see them in football and basketball. The refs get it wrong. Now, I don't know that the timekeeper should just be ringing the bell because he saw the tap. He's supposed to wait for the ref. But hey, maybe he was worried about Undertaker. Maybe he was worried about the Undertaker's arm and he let the emotion get the best of him. They could go somewhere with this. There's a little bit, a small story there. Excuse the train. I am in, Michigan. We have a lot of trains up here. So I didn't hate the ending. I thought it could have been worse. Anyway, what happens? They restart the match, and what do you know? Undertaker wins when Brock Lesnar passes out in Hell's Gate. I'm going to give the match 3 stars. I'm not taking off anything for the ending. I thought it was a 3-star match, and I thought the ending was decent. I won't complain about it. It was a little realistic in that, hey, humans make mistakes. Maybe the timekeeper made a mistake and, let his emotions get the best of him. Undertaker was hurting. He didn't want him to break his arm. I see it. Let me make, But again, to me, the big plot hole here is Little H trying to count a 3 on Lesnar when he's the one who has the offensive hold. I get it, but that was way out of position. But okay, the refs are dumb in general, so we have to accept it. So overall, let's give SummerSlam a grade. A to F. Like you were the teacher, what would you give SummerSlam? Let us know in the comments. I'm curious to hear from you guys what you thought about this event. I'm going to go ahead and give SummerSlam 2015 a C+. A C+. I thought there were 2 excellent matches on this card. Lesnar and Undertaker did not disappoint. I have to give that match credit because I did not think Undertaker was going to be able to really go anymore. He's looked slow. He looked better, much better in this match against Brock Lesnar. Great atmosphere. By the way, kudos to the Brooklyn crowd tonight. They were very, very good, very into it. So I thought that was a great match, and Seth Rollins versus John Cena was an outstanding match. Horrible ending there. Okay, you see the differences. One ending is a little realistic, whether you like it or not. Wasn't perfect, but the other one, okay, let's have a celebrity just run in and, oh, here's a chair, oh, da, 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 da. Horrible, horrible. But the match itself, outstanding. And we had a couple, borderline 3-star matches that could have been, but weren't. Probably could have gone either way. So I'm going to give it a C+. I thought it was a better than average pay-per-view, although I wasn't ecstatic about it either. So I thought it was okay. Somewhere in the middle. What did you guys think? Was this an A pay-per-view? Were you in love with it? Was this an F? Did you hate it? Did you hate all the endings? Did you think it was just too much for whatever reason? Let us know. I'll hope to be doing more of these reviews for you, so please stay tuned to the Kick-Ass Wrestling Show. Subscribe. Please subscribe to us here on YouTube, and we can try to build a little more momentum. When I see you guys enjoying it, watching, makes me want to, put more effort into these reviews and discussions. When we're getting 50 to 100 views, it's sort of hard to get motivated to make these. So please subscribe. Subscribe to me wherever it is, and watch the Kick-Ass Wrestling Show. We'll have more reviews coming. Not every Raw, but we'll be doing more Raws, hopefully looking at maybe some NXTs, ROH, and we'll get into everything else as well. So, this is Big Al. Thank you for joining us. SummerSlam 2015 is in the books. See you next time.